really something about that man's music. Timeless. Speaking of time, the music we're about to perform for you is just a little bit off of our timeline. The artist who made these songs famous didn't make it big until nearly a decade after VJ Day had passed. But she was so closely associated with USO tours in her time that it seemed only appropriate to include her music this evening. To perform the music of Miss Patsy Cline, would you please welcome to the stage Sergeant Sharon Wilhelm.
Now, if you know the words, sing along with me, okay? Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue. I knew you'd love me as long as you wanted, and then someday you'd leave me for somebody new. Okay, here we go. You gotta put your hands together out there with me. Come on. Yes. I'll go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just hoping you may be somewhere. I'm walking after midnight, searching for me. I walk for miles along the highway. Well, that's just my way of saying I love you. I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you. I stop to see a weeping willow crying on his pillow. Baby, he's crying for me. As the skies turn gloomy, night will whisper to me, I'm lonesome as I can be. I go out walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just hoping you may be somewhere. I'm walking after midnight, searching for me. Instead of having sweet dreams about you. Thank you.
Army Air Forces newsreel. News and anecdotes about your Air Forces. This evening, I can see that there are quite a few of us out here that may have never seen a newsreel, let alone heard one on an old Phillips console. In the 40s, the newsreel was as close to hard copy or current affair as they could come. There were no camcorders to go out there and capture the pictures live for you. In fact, even to send a radio crew out on a remote was a major technical feat. So instead, producers of shows such as Full Speed Ahead would take the news of the day and reenact it for the listener in what was known as a radio play. Complete with sound effects and multiple voice characterizations, the radio actor would do their best to make the listener feel as though they were there. So for you kids out there who might have wondered how Grandma and Grandpa got the latest news, well, listen closely to an actual transcription of an Army Air Force newsreel from December 1st, 1941.
Here's an unusual story of the Army Air Forces. One that had its climax not in the skies over Europe, but in the wild mountain country of the island of Corsica, which French patriots recently won back from the German invaders. It's a story that's just been revealed for the first time. Imagine a small valley in the Corsican mountains. In that valley, 2,000 German troops trapped. On the high points above that valley surrounding them are Corsican patriots. Some of them only young boys, some old men, but all armed, all determined to free their beloved island from the conqueror.
Well, John, at last we have them, eh? Not one of them will get away alive unless they surrender.
I am not so sure about that, Robert.
What do you mean, boy?
I thought you had noticed already. Our ammunition, it is almost gone.
How much more do we have?
For the machine guns, maybe enough to last another half day. For the rifles, only about 300 rounds. After that,
if we do not get more ammunition, our positions may be reversed. We shall be trapped and the Germans will wipe us out.
exactly.
Tell everyone to make every shot count. Fire only when absolutely necessary. If we can hold them in the valley until morning, we may be able to find some way to get some more ammunition up here. Jean, do you have any more shots left?
A few.
Good. Now bear your rifle over this way a few inches. There. Do you see? That little car coming up the road.
I'm aiming right at the driver.
The German patrol car, I think. Now, as soon as he comes a little closer, I will give you the signal to fire. Ready? Hold it now. Steady. Take aim.
Wait! I have seen photographs of cars like that. Robert, it is, how do the Americans call it? A Jeep?
What is it doing here?
Hello up there!
Halt! Who goes there?
Captain Ernest J. Collins, United States Air Forces, and one Jeep.
Advance to be recognized, Monsieur le Capitaine.
Here are my credentials, sir. And if you'll find some of your men to give me a hand getting that ammunition out of your Jeep, we've got more than you need, and then some.
Yes, those brave mountain fighters of French Corsica could hardly believe their eyes. But it was an American Jeep and an Air Force officer who had come to their rescue with ammunition. How come? Well, it seems that Captain Collins was one of a group of Allied soldiers sent to aid the Patriots there. His particular mission was supposed to be to organize the air defense of the island. It turned out, however, that his first assignment was to take the wildest ride of his life over hundreds of miles of wild Corsican hills and mountains to bring ammunition to the Patriots. A ghost story without haunted houses? Yep. And this is it. The story of a ghost plane. A flying fortress by the name of We'll Never Know. This is the story as related by Staff Sergeant Clifford Puckett, ball turret gunner on another fortress called Betty Boop, the pistol packin' mama.
Just after laying its cargo of bombs on an important factory in Germany, this fortress, the We'll Never Know, lost 2 engines. The plane was hopelessly crippled, so the crew had to bail out. As the ship dropped out of formation, we saw 10 men parachute down towards Earth. Then, on automatic control, that empty fortress flew on. Well, a few minutes later, some German pilots, eager for a kill, started swarming in on the We'll Never Know. You see, they didn't know the fortress was a ghost plane with no one inside. It was a good thing they didn't know, because that empty, crewless plane created a valuable diversion for us and cost those Nazi pilots an awful lot of ammunition at a critical time. The last we saw of the We'll Never Know, she was chugging bravely along on her own, paying no attention to the Nazi flyers and steadfastly refusing to be shot down.
And that ends the 3rd edition of the Army Air Force's Newsreel.
And now, a word from our sponsors.